Okay, let's look at what happens as x approaches asymptotes and as x approaches the end, infinity and negative infinity. So what they're asking us here for this question, they want us to fill in the blank. And it says, as x approaches -3 from the negative direction, the f of x approaches what? Look at the second question. As x approaches -3 from the positive direction, f of x approaches what? So let me show you what they're asking here. Here is our x equals -3. Okay, that's our asymptote right here. Now, as we approach this asymptote from the negative direction, okay, that's coming from this way, what's happening to our graph? Where's it going? Well, it's going down. It's going all the way down to negative infinity. So that's the question they're asking, and that's what we're going to answer. As x approaches -3 from the negative direction, the f of x approaches negative infinity. Now, what about as x approaches -3 from the positive direction? Well, here's our asymptote of -3. And if we're coming from the positive direction, where is this graph going? Where is the f of x going? Okay, let me remind you, this is the x, this is the f of x. So where's the f of x going? It's going all the way up to positive infinity. Okay, so then when they ask you about the f of x, they're wanting the y values, the f of x values. Let's look at one more. As x approaches negative infinity, what's happening to the f of x? Well, if we follow this graph on the x-axis, let me label this x and this f of x, and if we're following this graph, and we're going to follow it from right to left, and we go back to x as negative infinity, where is our f of x going? Well, it's going to get closer and closer and closer to 0, but never actually touch. Okay, so the f of x is approaching 0, right? Remember, your y equals 0 is right there. Okay, that's y equals infinity up there, and that's y equals negative infinity. All right, so go ahead and pause. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can answer these three. Go ahead and click pause. All right, let's answer the other three. As x approaches 3 from the negative direction, the f of x approaches what? We go to my graph. Here's x equals 3. And if I'm approaching it from the negative direction, where am I going? I'm going down to negative infinity. So the f of x approaches negative infinity. As x approaches 3 from the positive direction, well, here's my 3. Coming from the positive direction, if I follow my graph, where am I going? Going up to infinity. And then the last question, as x approaches infinity, the f of x approaches what? Well, here's my x, and if I'm going to infinity, where's my graph going? It's going to get closer and closer to 0. So it approaches 0. It gets closer and closer to 0. Right? See how it's flattening out right here at 0?